What's up, y'all? So I decided to come down here and do this video simply because, as a lot of you know, I've been having a lot of health problems. Um, some days I'm perfectly fine and some days I'm not. And today was one of those days. I attributed that to sugar. I have cut sugar down. I haven't had coffee in probably about almost 2 months now. And I've been drinking nothing but tea. I've cut down a lot of my sugar intake. Um, However, last night my kids wanted to see a movie, so naturally, with little change that I had and a few dollars that I had, I went to Dollar Tree and ended up getting a bunch of snacks for all of us to watch a movie and just enjoy time. Treat it like a theater. Um, so I woke up this morning and I felt like trash. And I have told people that today, especially when I went to church. However, the other factor of that is having had my medication for my health problems for at least a little over a week. So I am getting some of the effects of that. However, that's not the reason for this. Because I wasn't feeling good today after church, I came home, got on the couch, and I fell asleep. I was too tired mentally, and my head was hurting pretty good. I just felt like trash all day. And so I fell asleep, and while I was sleeping, I ended up having this dream that absolutely made no sense to me at first. And in the dream, I'm not a food vendor. Never talked about being a food vendor, and I don't plan to do anything like that. But it was a metaphor. In this dream, I had a food truck. It was nicely decorated. I had light fixtures on the sides, everything. It was similar to what you would see at a carnival. And I kept struggling with this thing. It kind of felt like I was at some sort of a strip mall type of deal with Walmart and a bunch of other stores. If you're from DeKalb at all, DeKalb, Illinois, kind of like the DeKalb out there, how they have all those stores everywhere. And I had this food truck, but I was struggling with it. I had placed it in one spot, and I put a ladder up against it because my lighted signs kept on falling. I put a ladder against it, and the food truck would kind of move a little bit with my weight. So I would try to readjust. Somehow with my hands, this is why the dream was weird. Without a vehicle, I would, grab the front end and I would turn it to reposition it and everything. And I just kept running into so many problems with it. Trying to get this thing operational and ready. And I'm looking around, and I remember being in a state of panic because I was like, if I don't get this situated, I'm not going to get any customers, and I'm not going to have all this stuff set up. But I was by myself doing it. Anyway, fast forward, I found these two vending machines, and I pushed the food truck right in between the two. That just happened to be the perfect amount of space. And so the sign on the other end kept on falling off. So I went and I put my ladder against it. And I'm like, I can fix this. I can fix this. I can fix this. That's what I kept hearing in my head, me telling myself in this dream. And I leaned the ladder up against it. And the food truck starts rolling forward on its own. Somehow my ladder stayed standing. It was an extension ladder that should have fallen when it started rolling, but it's just stood up in the air. And I climbed down off the ladder and I started chasing this food truck. And somehow it started rolling forward and it turned. And then as it kept rolling, all of a sudden my vehicle was hooked up to it and they're both rolling and I'm chasing it. I'm chasing it. And there's traffic and stuff like that. And I remember I had dropped my cell phone on the floor. I turned around, I go pick it up. And when I turn around, the food truck's gone. And so is my vehicle. So I'm in a panic and I'm asking everyone, have you seen this? Have you seen this food truck? I can't find it anywhere. It just rolled away from me. And everyone was ignoring me. Like I felt like a ghost. And there was this retention pond full of water. And I thought to myself, what if it rolled in there? And I remember getting ready to just jump in. I had my phone in my pocket, my keys, all my possessions were with me. And I was ready to jump in to go save this food truck. And before I could jump to save this food truck, I heard a voice in my head. Heard a voice in my head. It was almost like an echo, and I don't want to say it was God, but it sounds like if somebody were to interact, reenact God's voice with that reverb and everything. Tell me, is it worth this much for you to sacrifice it all? And there was my food truck. And then I woke up from the dream. And when I woke up from the dream, I just sat there and thought, and I had this musical tone. Everyone has heard it. People have used it on TikTok and everything. Now, mind you, I had not seen any videos with this before I fell asleep, anything like that. But the tone kept on playing in my head. And I kept thinking and feeling, and all I felt was pain after I woke up from the dream. And it's like I was being reminded of where I came from and how that pain doesn't exist anymore. And I know this might not make sense to a lot of you guys, but I want to share that with you. But I think sometimes we get lost. Sometimes we get lost in everything. We panic so much that we forget where we come from, even if we remember where we come from. We forget how to feel. And sometimes we pretend how to feel. So for a split, I don't know how long that dream took. And for the time I thought, I got to go through all of that. And for me, it was a lesson. I wanted to be an artist for so long, a music artist. My pastor today gave a great sermon. So I don't know if part of that just creeped in and God just wanted to pound this message into me. But for a long time, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just chasing this spotlight and nothing seemed to work because I was the one always running. I was the one always trying to run the show. I was the one trying to start this podcast and it had to go my way and I had to do it a certain way and this and that. While I wanted to bring Christ to people, a part of it was trying to be seen. Now that I look at it, and why it's painful to me is because it's like, I know there's a lot of people like that right now. Society is just crushing everybody. And I can't help but feel that we're getting close. We're getting close, and we're in a season of making a decision which direction we want to go right now. And a lot of people are stuck. And I know God helped me out of my situation. It's all glory to him. I know he pulled me out. But I think the painful thing to me is knowing that there's a lot of other people trapped right now. I got friends, I got family, people I talk to that I know are trapped. And I had a conversation with my mother, and we were talking about a friend of hers that passed away and stuff. And I had asked the questions, was he saved? You know, did he believe in God? And we went back and forth and stuff. And my mom, she gets concerned about people's safety, about them getting hurt, even my brothers. And my big concern is, and what I told her was, yes, they can get hurt here. All of us can get hurt here. And this is not to guilt anybody, but knowing what the Bible has talked about and everything I've read and everything I've been taught through sermons, classes, I would much rather be shot, stabbed, robbed, burned on this earth than to suffer what I would suffer separate from God and tortured in hell. And I never thought about it that way. These are new thoughts that have started to grow. As I've learned to surrender, because I walked around, I'm telling you guys, I walked around, I would hear things about surrender, and I thought I had it figured out to some extent, and that I was going to go to heaven because I believed in Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. I got baptized, but I didn't give away myself to him. I didn't die to myself every day. I didn't kill my pride. I didn't start that till a short while ago. I can't even say it's been an entire year. And I think a lot of us are stuck there. Even those that are going to church now. Not my church. There might be people in my church. I don't know 100%. But I see it out in our communities and social media and everything. What people's thought processes are. And I know where they are. And I don't know how to reach them. But those of you that understand what I'm talking about, as a whole, in unison, together, we can all reach them. We can be the light that they need, because that light is in all of us. And those people that are lost right now have light. It's just dim. I hope this helped you in some way, get some sort of understanding if you have an issue going on right now. But I've got more thinking to do. I've got more talking to do with God, because I don't fully understand the extent of it, but this is what I've gathered from the dream that I had and everything, and looking back. And I want all of y'all to know, no matter where you are right now, I love you. I love you. My family loves you. We don't hate you for anything that you do, for anything that you believe. We care about everybody. We just get disappointed. And I would love nothing more than to see you heal. Love you and God bless.